WD-40 maybe?
The what?
WD-40. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to call this to order at 7:01. Property lines, setbacks, surveys, fences. I know it's been a sore subject for lots of people, lots of different things. And a lot of new people, a lot of new things in town. A lot of people don't know property lines, where they are, how they are.
Building and all of that, or any expenses.
That's the county. Not us, right?
County doesn't require any.
That's what I'm saying.
Fences aren't even a
Yeah.
thing you have to get a building permit for.
Unless it's over and stuff. Certain.
Anything that's just impeding. Unless it's on an impeding corner for traffic. And it's like
And then those-
4 feet.
4 feet, I think. Yeah.
And then those boxes and stuff everywhere.
You have to be able to see so many feet on either side. Yeah. I don't know what the rules, I'm not a fence builder.
I know.
Yeah. I've seen this fence.
Do you guys have, do you guys have like an IRC, the international, or international, do you guys have? any of
Not
that?
currently that I know of.
Okay.
All our building stuff goes to the county.
And not, okay, you don't have it.
No, we don't do it.
Okay.
No, we haven't had a building inspector for probably 4 years.
3
4 years.
3 years, yeah.
The cost of having one on staff.
Right.
Didn't really impede, building going on.
So if somebody wants to build something, then they just scrape them.
Yep, you call the county, talk to them, they do all the permitting, all that good stuff.
And do they know your setbacks and all of that?
They sometimes call and ask some questions. I know the current project for the deck, I had to make some accommodations for somebody,
Okay.
which was a giant pain.
You're welcome.
It wasn't too bad. I wasn't aware of that either. I didn't know that.
It was a learning experience.
It's 100% a learning experience. But they're very good about letting me know what they need from us. So. And they're very confident about things.
So what are
We do have an open, what is called interlocal agreement with the county for that purpose.
Oh, okay.
We don't charge any fees, they don't charge us anything.
They just take hold of it.
They just get,
Yeah.
they give fees, whatever that fee is.
Yeah.
And they changed a bunch of the building codes this year, so. Exciting, what there's building permit.
Oh.
As long as you don't change structures.
Shape the size.
Is the old person retired yet?
Yeah.
Soon.
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 Jenny. Or
Jeannie.
Jeannie.
Is it Jenny? Jeannie? I don't know. And then David
David.
is
The
supposed to
one
take
who's
over.
treating
Yep, it's supposed to take over her. I don't think she set an official date yet, but
Not yet.
it's supposed to be in 16 months-ish, what I heard.
So what are our thoughts as far as property lines? Because a lot of the county records don't match anything either. And what we experienced up on the hill with Andrew's situation is everybody was off like 10 feet.
Mhm.
So if Andrew would have needed to move his 10 feet, then the next
It's
person.
just a chain reaction,
Yeah,
yes.
so what are we hoping? Oh, yeah, it was a big deal.
Oh,
Yeah, the whole, and that's what figured out of this is actually the eminent domain, is that what it was?
Yeah, but isn't there something statewide, because I was reading about this when this was all going on. And, isn't there something about a line that's been agreed upon for, I can't remember how many years, like 50 years or something?
Yeah, there's some, I know what you're talking about, some statute that says that if neighbor A and neighbor B decided that this was the line, and it's been that way for X amount of years.
Well, it isn't even neighbor A
And then they've sold the property 3-4 times.
Yeah,
And
Once
it's
yeah.
still
neighbor
been
B
that.
was maintained.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Took
Yes.
over ownership after so many
Yes.
years, yes, it becomes.
then that would be like on a survey or the plat map.
Yeah, you have to actually file,
Yeah.
there's some paperwork you're supposed to file of that, but
Yeah,
I don't know all
Well-
the ins and outs of how that works, but.
yeah, it was kind of a, not a great
Because there's a lot of
situation.
places that I know for sure, like around my place, I've measured
Oh,
mine
Absolutely,
numerous times to
absolutely.
get close, and then neighbors, and on down the line, I'm
Yes.
like, oh, I think they think they're here, but I think by
Yes.
measurement, you're
Yes.
here.
So then do we want everybody to measure and move their 10 feet, or
I would
What-
not
what
be
are we-
opposed to having a survey done, not the town's expense, but if you're
Yeah,
putting a
right.
fence up, you need to have it surveyed to verify
Yes.
you're on your property.
So what's,
If there's a conflict
what's the
with
cost of
neighbors.
what's the cost of the survey coming out here to Endicott?
$7,500.
I had-
Yeah,
It can be linked.
So-
It can be
mine
so
was 800
you're gonna
bucks,
be-
and that was
doubling, tripling the
years
cost
ago?
of doing a fence.
Yeah, I
in
think it's
Endicott.
$7,500 or $5,000.
Is what you're
something
gonna
like that.
yes,
10 years ago. I had it done.
For somebody who's gonna be maybe replacing a fence, an existing fence, would they need a survey for replacing an existing fence?
It's a
Well,
new
it
fence at
it
that
can be
point.
extensive, but it's also usually the cost is split by, the neighbors.
Right. So
They
you have to
they
get an
have to come
agreement.
to the agreement on how they're gonna cover that cost. And it's not a
depending
good
on your
cost.
neighbor, that money may or may not be there to be an option.
They have to
That's-
decide, so.
Well, and could you guys, if there is a discrepancy, if somebody goes out and says, this is your 5 feet, and they're like, no, it's not, it's here, then the burden should be on the homeowner to come
If
up
they
with
can't
that.
come up with an agreement, who's gonna pay? Yeah, whoever wants to put the fence in my book would be the one that has to pay for that. If they wanna put the fence in there, or come back
And
5
then they
feet,
put the fence on their property.
I'll offset
me.
it. Right,
yeah, there are many properties that are gonna be
2.5 feet, you call it.
right.
Yeah,
Because the rest of the
right.
building setbacks are 5 feet.
Yeah.
From the property
Right.
line. And that's all the
Um,
way around, it's not like front, back, left, right. It's
Depends, cause like Dave's, it sits right on the property line, and we had that conversation with him.
Because that was one property at one
That was
point.
one property, and that building sits smack dab
Yes.
on the property line.
Well, then
But
they
it was, like I said, it was one property, so when that, whoever decided to split that,
They did it
they
right
must have
on
got
the
some
line.
variance through whoever to do that.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a bummer for
Right.
trying to figure out how to.
Because,
put
I mean,
our
think about how
shop
his
in.
property line sits with how your garage sits.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
then they jut it out like this, so
Yeah,
you're
super
sitting
weird.
there like, yeah, so.
So you
There
mean
can be
that
some
property,
conflicts
Dave's
with
and your
those.
property were one?
It was all one, and then they cut it, so yeah, so
Mhm.
there can be some conflicts with neighbors and trying to get it sorted out.
Back in the
and then-
early days.
The
Yeah.
line between me and Mary's
The
old
wagon
house
wheel.
is fudgy.
Yeah,
Because the fence line, my fence touches her garage,
right,
Yes.
but there is 10 feet between our two buildings.
yes.
So I know that property line is
You need
5
another
feet.
chair.
Either way.
Right. So
That I was
here's-
like, which is when I take that out and put in the new fencing, that's what I'm gonna do. Is take it off the house, but.
Yeah,
A lot of the same things you do use old place in my, I'm 5.5, 6 feet off my property line. But she's only 4.
Yeah.
And there's 10 between us,
Yeah.
but
Right.
she's only 4,
Yeah.
so it's whole property.
so that's just where it kind of, trying to figure out the lines and where it does kind of become the responsibility of the property owner. And then the cost becomes
Are
the
there-
responsibility of the property owners as well.
Are there any grants for any citywide type things or anything like that?
I'm sure if you dig far enough there is, but
You mean for the city to
To have the,
Do it.
to,
To
I
have
mean,
a
we're not that
new
big.
plotting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I, you know,
Have a
yeah.
plotting.
Yeah, exactly.
it's a GIS, what is that?
Yes, the GIS.
That was part of that program, was that they're supposed to sonar, radar.
Whitman County.
But Whitman County is so behind on all that, it's ridiculous. That's how that's how the county's supposed to know where the roads are.
Right.
But last time I talked to anybody at the county, they said they're probably at least 5 years from getting close.
Oh, dang.
And they're already 15 years behind.
Oh, jeez.
Well, join
Cause
the,
they use, like,
Well,
when
we're
FEMA
not
came through and
behind.
used the LiDAR to figure out the floodplain over here, they wanted the GIS on that, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't have that,
wow.
which caused another big so.
So are you thinking if somebody wants to put a retaining wall up or a fence or build a house, they have to get a survey, or if there is a question?
I would think a permanent structure for sure. I mean, if you're putting a retaining wall up, that to me is a permanent structure. A fence
Right.
could be moved easily.
Right. So if there's a discrepancy, so
Yeah,
say
they put
you
it
want-
up and then the neighbor's like, hey, you're on my side. And then they have to work that out.
Could we require some discussion with the neighbor to make sure that there's not a discrepancy before a build? Does that make sense?
I think
As a
that
good neighbor, I
seems-
would talk to my neighbor before I build
Well,
a fence. Yes.
But ensuring that happens, not just
So you want, like, a
assuming that
gathering of
somebody's.
like a
Well,
council person and
No,
No,
probably
just even a letter, you get what I, or
or
something
some
like, you
kind of
know.
written permission from both sides.
Exactly,
Did you get your permission slip?
Well,
Right.
because
Send it to my shirt like
then
I'm
we've
in
at least
kindergarten.
done that due diligence that the other
Right.
side at that point in
We
time
both
is-
agree upon.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah, no, I think
rather than
that's-
saying they have to spend $7,500 to get a survey out and done.
Yeah.
Especially if there is no
So
discrepancy.
on that same
And-
note,
and
so
there-
how about
yeah.
our easements and right of ways? They should not build on any of our easements and right of
Well,
ways.
that's up to us. We would be the neighbor they would have to check with, right?
Not necessarily, because easements can also be easements and right of ways to power companies or,
Right.
True,
No.
true.
Yeah, on
Well,
that
again,
sense,
well, so
you
saying,
should never
so
build on
saying
an easement or
where,
right of way.
show, we need a plan for what's being built. And then we looking at said plan can see, are they building on any easement, blah, blah, blah. If you're building on any easement, you need permission of said person. I mean,
well, that takes it back to also then coming into the city and
Mhm.
saying, I'm building a
Yes.
fence.
So we need an ordinance that requires us, so can we do, well, it's just like with our permits for the chickens and stuff like that we do, right? We can,
We do a fence permit.
that's what I'm,
I mean,
Any kind of building permit, they still have to go to Whitman County.
can we do a fence permit without handling the rest of our building permits?
100%.
Or can we make them handle that? Does that make sense?
I don't know if the county would handle fence.
No,
Because
but
there's
And if not, can we do it separate?
there's
so many different
no,
structures.
there's no fence permit required through the county.
No,
But
yeah.
if we say, if you're
But for
building,
the city, you need one.
but
We
for
can
the
do
city
that.
of Endicott, if you're building a fence or a structure, you have to come in and give us your plan
So
in
my
order to
question
make sure that it's
is
not.
are we allowed to do that while they handle the
So
rest of our?
structure might be on them, because the county should verify property lines and things like that before you start building, right? I would assume you should have to map that out prior to, because like when you do subgrade and all that stuff, you
Is
have
it the
to.
county
Yeah, depending on
auditor?
the
Is that
structure,
who that?
depending on the
The
structure,
county
yes.
auditor, is that who that's? The-
County building permit.
Yeah.
Building.
But a fence, yeah, we could have, you have to come and fill out a permit. Might not, there'd be no charge to the permit, it's just an awareness permit, if you will.
Yeah,
So then we can go verify that you're not on our easements and you're not.
Right.
your neighbors agree with
Right.
where it's
We
being
can do our
built
due
and all that kind
diligence,
of
make sure that we're
stuff.
not having an issue later on.
Just try to prevent having to move stuff, take stuff down.
So that like no cost.
Yeah.
Just
Just-
say,
Yeah.
hey,
A simple, hey, on March 13th, I talked to blah, 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 and blah, 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 and they agree that the line's gonna be at this feet and this feet.
written documentation.
Yes. So later on, if house gets sold,
Right.
We've got something
Yeah.
to, yeah.
say,
Say,
hey.
this is what happened then.
So
No, I
we
think
need
that's-
that to be an ordinance or?
You're gonna have to have some policy for it.
So we have a fence ordinance, so it might be more of a resolution unless you're
To
gonna
adopt it
totally,
into that.
unless you're gonna totally revamp the ordinance itself.
So we need to pull that and look at it.
And I tried to print it today, and all it was each letter had its own page, and it wouldn't let me shrink it to fit one like page to a page. I have no idea why, in the WordPress, is that what it is?
Yeah.
It would not let me, I was like, I'm not printing 450
So it
pages for
should
this
be, it
ordinance.
should be in here then.
Yes.
If it's not, it's
Yeah,
an
yeah,
ordinance.
it should,
Yeah, it tells you like there's no setbacks, no barbed wire, no electric fence, no razor wire, no. There's a couple other things. I can't remember what it all is, but.
I remember which.
So we just need to look into this and.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to give you guys some
Clarify,
thoughts on it.
Okay, I don't know, I think that's a smart way to move forward with it at least.
I agree.
You guys wanna move on?
Yep.
Okay, we're moving on to dog licenses. So I know March is the month, the magical month. But as it was brought to my attention and reading through all the things that I've read through in the last few months, we are maybe not doing it quite the way that we should be. So we need to make sure that our stuff is correct and we're getting the right paperwork from residents and that they're responsible for their animals and we have at least a good description of what animal they have and that they're aware of the policies of how they work.
So this is what Albion does.
Yeah, so in front of you guys, I probably have one too, if I look.
So Washington state law requires certification
Yes.
of rabies.
Mhm.
Yeah. Certification, not a piece of paper that says, here, I have my rabies, it was $39. It's an actual certification for them.
The vacancy,
Yes, yeah,
like, not even just the tag isn't enough, you have to have the
Correct.
paper,
the
right?
certification.
My dogs ate their tags.
The vet still does.
That just
Right.
covers you guys,
Yeah.
liability reasons,
We need
things like
copies
that.
and that, so we can keep it on file.
Yes.
I mean, there's,
And it's, yeah, because it looks kind of like somebody would say, hey, I have a dog, okay, here's a license, without any
Any-
information,
yeah.
any rabies information, and it was just kind of like a trust me.
and the process of being, the way it was being handled and billed was incorrect.
Well,
So, we
But
need to
is
work.
this generally
Yeah, so this went through Eric.
similar? Yeah.
yes,
So this went through Eric with Albion
Okay.
whenever they did this. It looks like in 19. And Eric's our town lawyer, in case anybody doesn't know that, Eric Hansen.
and these are different, of course, we
Right.
would do it
Right.
to what you
Our
guys.
thing.
Right.
Yes,
We would
yes.
adjust it and send it to
Um,
Stephen Bishop currently.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
To verify everything before we did it, but we do need to make sure that we're doing everything on the up and up as far as licensing goes.
I think this looks
Yeah,
good,
this
and I think that adjusting this to our fees and
Yeah,
situation.
I agree.
And
Like
with this,
removing the kennel stuff and all that.
Right.
right, the March 1st is to me adding another burden to the clerk on the already burdened time of the year between end of the year stuff they have to get completed
And then
and
taxes.
final. Taxes aren't that big of a deal for a town, really. They're
Yeah.
pretty easy.
The annual report is what.
The annual report, which is a monster to handle, is due in April. April? No,
May.
It's due in May, and it takes a lot to get that done, and then to throw in, hey, I want to pay $5 for my dog. Yeah, so I would propose to move that date
To like
So
June or
like
something.
June, July.
June, July,
I
something
don't
like
have a
that. You know,
problem with that.
something that the clerk's a little slower.
Yeah.
You know, has a
Makes
little more
sense.
ability to handle that.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And it'll be a standalone fee. It will not be added to a water bill. You can't just write one check for both. It have to be standalone fees
Yeah.
because they go into
And it
different
has to, 'cause
funds.
it's a different system.
It goes into a different bars code, if you will.
Can,
It
can we
has to
have
be
that
tracked
as an
separately.
action for next meeting?
We can try to see if Steven can get something together, as far as that goes, but, we can
Well,
try.
we have, I mean,
Yeah,
We-
I'll just make the changes here and then I'll
Okay.
bring it for you guys to review.
Okay.
okay, yeah,
But
that
your-
works.
I don't know what
Um,
your ordinance says in regards to when dog licenses are
March
due.
1st.
Is that what, so
Yeah,
you're
March
gonna have
1st,
to,
yep.
Yeah, change
Yeah,
that.
But we could also then adopt what we, were you here in 17?
No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
so BJ and I were both on council in 17, and we actually adopted a new ordinance on dogs and kennels, and it was, when it was rewritten to be placed, it wasn't written correctly. Not to what, well, at least neither one of us
Recollected that word.
recollected, yes. So if you guys wanted to, we could change that at this point, or we could just leave it the way it is. The main change was the amount of dogs allowed at one property and the kennel license. They're the two big ones there.
because they were getting rid of the kennel licenses. And
I thought we
as,
did that. I thought we.
So we did. We
and
voted,
as,
that's the way it was, but when it was written, this is what we got.
as the
Oh,
dogs went away, they were not to be replaced. To
Right.
get you down to
Right. Yes.
a manageable
Yeah,
number.
yeah.
And as far as I know, no one has applied for a kennel license in forever and a day.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that either. And the one that we did have has done exactly what you said. just
Right.
With limit
Right.
down to more
Because the
manageable.
current one has what, 4 dogs on it, is that right?
Yes,
I don't know if I
yes.
get myself copies. of
That's what
it.
it said it was for.
And I think we agreed upon 3 for a household.
That would, yeah, I agree.
And it also, I mean, this is just a snip of the new ordinance, but in the old ordinance, it actually talks about nuisances and treatment of the animals and requirements of having that animal there.
And that is probably still in your code.
Yes. And it was on WordPress, but like I said, I couldn't get it. And that actually, I think it's an at-large animal, I think is what it's under. And
Okay.
there's like a snippet, like page 6 or something about dogs and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's animals, there's public nuisance, there's
Yeah.
disabilities.
Yeah, and that's also where it said no chickens, and then we adopted a new resolution for chickens. Thanks to BJ. But that extends, like no geese, no rabbits, no
Ducks,
ducks.
rabbits,
What's peacocks,
peacocks.
right?
So the six-
Horses, cows, sheep, pigs,
I want goats.
goats. That's one's in there. All those things aren't allowed, but we do have an ordinance that says that during the daytime for vegetation removal, you can use goats as long as they are attended
In my
and have water
basement
and in
at
a
night.
fenced area.
And don't have to leave the town.
It cannot stay overnight.
Right.
Or you can put them in your
No
house.
sleepovers.
Yeah, you can keep them in your house, in the basement.
I think my husband would appreciate that.
Or you're joking. I'm serious.
No, I am serious.
we had
He
people
can
had
sleep
goats
in
in
the
the house.
basement, the goats can sleep with me.
Yeah, we had a whole family of goats and 2 sheep and a pony.
In the
In
house.
a house?
Well, in a building. I don't know if it was a house, but it was a building.
No, my husband would not appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Then-
no. I'm teasing. I don't want goats anymore.
I thought you were teasing, yes, but
I am teasing.
I was serious. There was actually somebody
No.
in town.
All right. No.
Yes.
All right.
So,
Moving along.
moving along. I love my ordinance. All right, agenda sheet.
Okay.
Procedures.
This is gonna pass the
Yeah.
buck to Star. I think she has some stuff.
So I was looking, and you guys may have council procedures somewhere, I just don't know where they're at. You guys, if you have any or not. And it's just kind of a good tool for during council meetings that you guys can refer back to, like, here are the general rules. The clerk takes the minutes. The
I
crowd
did
has
see
to
some
be-
of that. It's under like duties of officers or something in the ordinance.
Okay,
It's not very like meeting running, but like the clerk treasurer
oh,
will be
yes,
blah, 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 blah,
yes,
blah, blah.
yeah, but this is just
The
kind
mayor
of
will
how
blah, blah,
to,
blah, blah,
how
blah.
to conduct yourself.
Okay, yeah, no, that's not it.
Like, in meeting, I understand this is a work session, so it's a little bit different, but in a
Yeah.
meeting, if, I wanna talk, that, I just have it happen,
Right,
so you can recognize me.
Right.
And
No,
just so
it keeps
people
flow, I
aren't,
got you.
yeah, talking, how to motion, how to vote, how to,
Right.
and I know you guys know how to do all that. But just having something documented, so then if there's questions, like, oh, yep, here, same with the public comments,
Yeah, so-
and.
Just so you guys are all full aware, last Tuesday I attended Albion's meeting on behalf of the town of Endicott because they signed their interlocal agreement. And it might be great to have a face there. Shantae went with me. She was not as thrilled as I was. The meeting went super quick. They apologized because it was a half hour long. I was like, yeah, that's nothing. And then Star and I and her mayor talked for like an hour and a half. So,
Wow.
but no, it seemed like really, their whole council, including the mayor, were all females. Nothing against it, but it was very interesting to see. You can tell that they definitely click differently than we do in this room because of the gender. Different thought processes, A brain, B brain, no brain, whatever it is. Right? But you definitely, it was interesting to see a different council being conducted,
And how it ran.
different meeting being
That's very
conducted, I guess.
Yeah, we're very much, if it's not on the agenda, you do not talk about it.
And it was,
Because it.
before you talked, I mean, and the mayor
Nice.
said, hey, and then if you interrupt somebody, no, they're talking.
Right.
I mean, it was,
Yeah, it's very.
Structured.
We get, yes.
kind of reminds me of my grandma beating me with a
Oh.
stick.
Let's get through this. Let's
All
get this done.
I do plan on attending some other meetings, so if you guys, somebody wants to go with me, let me know. I'll glad to take you. I'm gonna take you into like a Colfax, maybe a Pullman. I'd love to go see like a Moses Lake or a Spokane,
Yeah.
just because of the sheer volume, of how that works. But
Right. Whew.
right, ambition, in my spare time, of course.
But this is something that you don't have to adopt, you don't have to, it's just from council to council, because if you get a new council member, you could pass it along, like, hey, this is how we run the meeting, this is how we kind of do this, and so everybody stays on topic and
Nope, nope,
and all
makes
that.
sense.
And it's not something you have to do now, it's not something you have to do at all.
Mhm.
Just a guide, kind of.
Yes, yeah, and you can look through it and add to it, or say, no, we don't like this, or we wanna change this, or something. Just keeps everything flows, it just flows.
Yeah.
Nicely. Makes the meetings work, flow really nice too.
I want to discuss anything else on that, or?
But it's just kind of for your information. And we do have, it's kind of, I guess this is off the subject, but we have a lot of committee meetings. We don't have a work session at all. And so like the Avista thing, and it went out to the Andersons, we have 2 Andersons. It went out to them, they brought it back to council, they said this, and it was done. And so it kind of helps with work session. I mean, we just don't have work sessions, we have committee meetings and.
And then-
So the committee brings it then
So-
to
Yes.
council.
In our, actually, in our
Yes.
ordinances I read today, we're supposed to have a planning commission
Oh,
for the town of Endicott, and it's supposed to meet once a month.
yes.
It's appointed by the mayor, by people that have interest, and they're supposed to meet every first Tuesday of the month in this building.
And who's supposed to be on that?
Yeah, just community members or?
3 community members,
They have to have some kind of knowledge.
yeah, it was, yeah.
We don't
I
have one
just,
either.
I found it in the ordinance today when I was digging through looking for some other stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's very interesting,
Yes.
very interesting.
Yeah.
And that was something that was
Planning and
adopted in like,
If somebody wants to build a house.
The
then they
city,
have to-
city
Oh,
planning in
yeah.
general,
City
right?
planning.
Yes, yes. Or
like,
if
you know,
somebody wants to build a fence, then they would come to the planning commission.
Planning.
Northwest Grangor is building a new whatever they're building today.
Shit.
Oh,
I don't know what
this
it is.
building,
It's a cooling shack, would be my guess. A weather shack, if you
is it
will.
like what we built out here for them?
A little smaller, but yeah,
I don't remember what it is, but there's a size that you can build
200,
and it can't be any bigger than that and you need no permit.
under 200,
200 square feet.
under 200.
Yeah.
But it's really
200
close to some
square
other
feet, right?
buildings, so it might be, I'll put a phone call in tomorrow.
And see, yeah,
Put a
for
phone
fire,
call.
especially for fire
Yeah,
and
I'll
all
put a-
that.
Well, if we're talking fire, they got a bigger issue than
Well,
the
right,
building.
right, the codes.
The 3.5 feet of green on top of the building they have,
True.
I mean, that's a couple of OSHA violations right there.
But this is something we can look back at too, if you guys want to.
Committees,
Okay.
Britsville does, Washington. Committees?
Several places do,
So,
yeah, because then they can report back and then council can say, okay, this is what you found, or this is what you didn't find, or this is what I found.
Bristol has 6 police officers. Did you guys know that? I think the city runs 6 policemen. I had
Wow.
no idea.
We
Wow.
didn't really thought.
No idea.
All right,
We cannot afford a police officer.
bummer. All
Tell
right,
me, I'll be in pays for police presence, and it's expensive.
Very, very much so.
For 20 hours a week, is that what you said?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
That'd be expensive.
that's okay, we don't.
Although we made it, we can make it an incentive. For every
Yeah.
ticket you write, you get X amount.
Oh,
True. Okay, next.
Just he's like, damn it, I gotta wear my seatbelt.
I know. Stop watching
Can't
me
stop
when
at the
I'm
stop sign.
driving.
And yield at the yield sign. Right?
Yeah, okay, moving on.
I think that this is fine to adopt as is.
I didn't even read it yet, so
Okay.
Yeah, calm down, man.
you're really anxious
Overachiever.
here.
That's like at least 3 days worth of reading. You got this in a PDF that read it to me?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Public Works, SOPs, and position. Everybody knows what SOPs are, right? Standard operating procedures.
Mhm.
Make sure.
Yeah, so Ron is
Gone. What?
Pretty much.
I'm gonna call it gone. Ron has been gone for the last month.
Checked out.
Yeah.
No. Ron has been not in town for the last month.
Oh,
right. Yes.
So I have been taking care of Ron's stuff.
Oh dear.
Ron's been moving back to Oklahoma. He got a job back there. He officially starts April 9th.
Okay.
He said he should be back sometime this week. I'm holding my breath like when I blow a balloon.
back to collect his last check.
I don't know. But he said he'd be back.
So
He doesn't actually start.
are-
So
Have we put an advertisement?
can we afford somebody?
Can we afford not to have somebody?
Right. So this is what I've been noticing and kind of thinking. Ron does a wonderful job. Your sewers are running, your numbers are great, your water is chlorinated, it's safe, all of this. When I go into, I'm not sure if you call it the lift station or.
Call it what you want.
Yeah.
The poo station.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I go in there, I have no clue. No clue. What's going on? What do you do? How do you do it? How many of this? How many bugs? How many larvae? How many, how does all this work? Can't find any SOPs. Where are the SOPs? There's no SOPs. Same with when I go into the shop looking for a pump. Where's the pump? Where's the electric pump? Where's this pump? Where's the key? Where's this? So this is something that I talked to Dean about, and I've also talked to MRSC about as far as trying to get that cleaned up, because I'm afraid if somebody is, right now we're still paying Ron because he has vacation.
Yeah.
And paying 2 people is just really not feasible for your budget right now.
Mhm.
And then trying to find somebody with no benefits to take on this job right now, I think it's gonna be extremely difficult.
Yeah.
It's extremely difficult. So after speaking to MRC, I have a meeting with Stephen Bishop tomorrow. At 1:00. So this is my thought, and this is completely up to council, but Dean has been doing all of this, and he is able, he can't be an employee here because he is the mayor, he is the boss, so he cannot be an employee. What he can do, however, is get paid for additional duties until all of this, we've got some SOPs, we've got inventory, we have all of ABCD, until that gets, because we don't want a mess. Ron has done a great job. We're just not sure where things might be. And so we don't want to put somebody if somebody.
We want to bring somebody new into something that is structured,
Correct.
that they
Well,
have
that's what we
things
were
to
hoping
follow.
to do
and-
anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
that was on my
And
mind.
and Ron may have something somewhere.
He has a single piece sheet of paper in here that tells me that the shop is over there, the sewer plant's over here, 1 cup of bug, 2 cups of this, your day's done.
Oh,
I mean, essentially is what it says.
Right.
Like that's it. And I'm like, that's not SOPs, buddy.
right.
That
Well,
is
I mean,
you taking 2 seconds to decide what you're gonna do with
Right.
minutes.
right. But if you walk in, if somebody walks
Oh,
in,
yeah, no.
do you know how to do a DMR? You have to have those numbers so you can do your discharge monitoring report.
Which I learned gets on Saturday.
Yes,
Because it was due on Sunday.
yes.
So do
So I
you
learned that on
just need to
Saturday.
write out your SOPs? Is that what you're needing to get, is all
Well,
your
we probably need to
SOPs
know-
created?
We need to know what they are.
Well, right, yes.
But do we create our own? Is
Yeah.
there a
Yeah,
template
we'll need
somewhere?
to.
or-
I mean, the sewer plant, when it was built originally, would have instructions on how to do it, but it's,
But they're
It's-
MIA.
no, we
Well,
have them.
it's
Oh.
so convoluted, those
Okay.
things. It's like in binders.
So you wanna take that down and you wanna put it into 1 or 2
And
sheets
say,
of
yes.
instructions.
So if somebody's gone, BJ can go
Been
down
there, done that.
and be like,
Right.
hey, this is how the boiler or bubbler works. This is how many larvae that you have to throw in. This is how many, whatever
We
it
don't
is.
throw larvae in, we kill the larvae in the
Oh,
stuff.
shit. Whatever you're doing. Whatever
We'll
you're
put the
doing.
larvae
with your
juice
plants.
in to kill the larvae.
This is why she doesn't
Yeah,
do
we
that.
won't have you come and do that.
Because right now, when I have a question, I just call Ron.
Right.
He's my SOP if I need him.
Yeah,
Yes, but it needs to be kind of written. Things need to be organized. You need some inventory.
absolutely.
Something, you need some kind of structure before somebody comes in.
Which is kind of what we were shooting for with the
Right.
clerk, when we had the 2 clerks trying to get that.
Yes.
Right, and this isn't something that a company that's currently running our samples can help with.
Oh, for
For
a
a-
huge cost?
About $7,000 a month.
Oh,
Yes.
well, let's
A month.
not, no,
Yes.
no. We're gonna
So,
not do
right,
that.
right. So,
They'll do other limited capacities if we want them to come down on Wednesday, start the sample machine, and then come back on Thursday to take said sample to Spokane, and then do the periodic checks twice a week. I think I haven't emailed him or what it is, but it's just the very simple. That's not cleaning the plant, that's not pressing the plant, that's not any of the other stuff.
and then you have testing every day, don't you?
Yeah, that's not coming down and testing every day.
Yeah.
That is simply doing the state mandated stuff. We test every day for our own records,
Right,
and the state mandates certain pH levels and stuff be done.
yes, for your.
Devin from Emerald Creek didn't include all that. That would just be an extra charge plus mileage. For just doing the simple basics, it was $3,700 a month.
No, that's just the basics.
Basics. I mean, that is, and that won't even get us compliant because, it'll get us compliant with the state, other than the stuff that I would still have to do on the site.
So lately, your mayor has been doing all of this.
Yes.
He's been doing all of
Are
this.
you applying for your water license just
I missed
because?
it by a couple of questions.
Oh,
So maybe this time I'll actually look at the book.
So anyway, my thought is until we get all of this structured, that you pay you pay your mayor right now, $50 a meeting or whatever it is right now. I mean, at the end of the year.
Right.
But for temporary additional duties, until everything is straightened up, he would then get that more than $50
Sure.
a month. And that's something that, I mean, I think that you guys should really think about doing, because I don't think it's really.
Are you willing to
Right,
do it?
right.
First
But
and
that's true,
first and
yeah.
foremost.
Because you do have
It
a
feels very
full-time job.
intrusive
On your full-time
Yeah.
job and your family.
And your wife and, yeah.
My wife, on the other hand, sometimes, but yes, as many people know, I will do just about anything for the town. So, and I'm very willing to do whatever it takes to keep you guys afloat.
Yeah,
And
we know that.
And he
there's
has been.
more than just the savings of the salary. You think about it, if it's a stipend or I don't know what the other term, there's another term for it. It's not, I'm not an employee anymore.
Right.
So we don't pay employee tax. We don't pay all those other taxes, all the back
The
end stuff.
benefit stuff
Yeah.
already.
All that
Yeah.
stuff the town's gonna end up saving by doing it this way. And even if it's 8 months or 5 months or whatever it is, that's a huge chunk. I mean, so you figure if Ron's making 55 a year or whatever it is, 57 a year, you take half of that again is basically with benefits, so he's mid-80s.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So and then, you added our clerk and stuff like that, we're out $140,000 a year just in 2 employees.
Right,
And the state's getting half of that.
right.
Right.
But if that's something that council would say, hey, yes, then he would, I mean, I would file a 1099 with the state, and then he would have to do
It'd be on
his
himself.
own.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't think there's any of us that would object to that. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons to do that. My concern would be your sanity.
So it's a short time, short.
Yes,
It's not,
yeah, I know.
This isn't a 10-year plan,
I
I'll
know
tell you that.
that. You've been doing it though, and
Um,
it's a lot to ask of you.
something we can bring to the next meeting as an action.
Yeah.
That way, I mean, the sooner it's
We're
done,
gonna
the
go
sooner
talk
it's
to
happening.
Stephen tomorrow, Mr. Bishop tomorrow about everything.
yes.
Just if it does materialize, I want people to know that it's not gonna be, right now I'm gonna be able to get there. I do have a full
No,
time
no.
job.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't wanna call on people sometimes like, hey, I need you to go do this, if you can.
Yeah.
Last weekend before last, the water leak over at on margin. I was in Pendleton.
Well, and we tried, but
No, I get it.
I was up to my elbow
But I
and
had-
I still
I
couldn't
called
help it.
anybody and everybody I thought that could handle the situation.
So I came,
Yeah.
the pumps, they're like, "Meh," and that's something else.
Right.
that
And I
we
thought
could
Ron
get-
was still in town actually, because he said he was gonna be in town, then he just decided to leave.
Wasn't
That's
it?
why I left. Otherwise, I would have probably stayed home just because.
But trying to go into that shop and find things was, because I don't know.
Well, and I didn't even have a key anymore, so
Right.
I couldn't
You
even
wouldn't have a
get
key to
into
the
the
shop anyways.
shop.
You had to get
Well,
up here.
I would have been able to get in here if I
You had
had
a key in
to
here
the
for the shop?
office.
I think, yes,
You
yes,
must have got in somehow.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
through the lockbox, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
so having
Right.
that and a
Right.
maintenance schedule, I don't
it's
even,
just chaotic.
yeah, it was
Right.
crazy.
It
Trying to
worked
find
out.
everything. DJ was,
That
he
hole
came
was
from
full of
Tri-City.
water,
DJ
man.
I know. We couldn't even get that one pump primed.
Yeah.
It was
You have to keep the
ridiculous.
hose.
See, I cheat, I have a valve that I turn off on mine.
So you have to fill the
Thanks for
pump.
the tip. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
you gotta, so the lay flat hose, you fill the pump,
Mhm.
kink the hose, you get it to build pressure, and then you throw it in, and then it starts sucking. I missed that step. I'm sorry. I was watching the fireworks.
That water was cold. Yeah.
Well, I've
And
only been
prime
riding it
time
for
is
like
just-
6 hours.
Yeah. It was crazy.
But-
But again, I walked in and I'm like, where's this, where's that, where's this, where's that?
Right.
And it would be nice to have something that says, hey, start,
Or
the book's
something
over
in
here on the
general.
shelf to the left, and then I'm, oh, pumps, here it is. Oh, here's the trick with this.
How many of you guys, I know we did a tour of the shop and the sewer plant a while
A
ago.
long time ago.
That was a while
Not,
ago.
not since
Nice.
I've joined.
I did the one,
I mean, I've been out there.
We toured,
Blues like that, it was just myself. but-
Lucis.
we toured Lucis too.
So if you guys ever
Yeah,
interested,
we should do that.
you know, at the beginning of a meeting one time, we could walk around that stuff if you guys want to, or get a hold of me, I can show you, call me, I'll gladly show you what's going on out there. Like I said, the poo water comes out cleaner than our
Oh,
drinking water feels like.
Your guys' things.
I mean, it dumps right back into Rebel Flat Creek, so, I mean, it's pretty impressive on what goes on out there. Really, really is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't smell. Okay, everybody thinks it smells, it doesn't. It has its own odor, but it's not like what you
My
think.
aerator turns on.
No, the only time it stinks is when the lift stations don't work for half a day, and then they all come on at the same time, and then it smells horrible then. Other than
I'm
that, it's not bad.
sure you won't need any assistance because you probably have it nailed, plus with STAR's help, but if you do want any assistance with writing SOPs, I have plenty of experience, so just let me know.
Not for her.
I figured I'd
go,
just like a
girl.
microphone. Today I am doing this.
Right?
ID.
Then it's recorded,
That's okay.
just teasing.
I have all
Yeah,
these
I
little
just-
microphone cases. What are they? The little cassettes. Remember those? Like in your,
Oh my god.
You remember what I'm talking? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
From
yeah.
the eighties.
Yeah, wow.
Like what is that? Like answer machines. You have those little
You
papers.
used to pretend you were on Dragnet.
Yes.
Alright, back to work. Yeah.
All right. So meter tampering.
Well, I'm not.
Oh, she's not done.
She's not done.
So-
She's the one who wants to hurry up with the meeting, and now she's not done.
So, in order for me to even have something or bring it to Stephen, and I could just bring it to Stephen, but you guys have to decide, like, hey, $1,500 a month, $1,000 a month,
Oh, you mean for
$2,000 a month.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
okay. Yeah, yeah,
something,
okay.
something. Just so you know, I just,
Not tonight though, right?
no,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
no.
Okay.
Not tonight, but it's something, and I can also do several different ordinances, because it'll be by ordinance and fees.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and then just think about it.
Okay.
Just think about it, and then we'll talk to the lawyer tomorrow.
Okay.
The
At our
only
meeting,
additional
and-
charge would be, if you get a water license, would be $300
Yes.
to Emerald Creek. And I've already talked to him.
Really good,
Okay.
it's really reasonable.
That's stuff we'd already talked about.
Yeah.
About,
Yeah, because I don't currently have a water license, we have to pay
Right.
for Devin to have the
To
water.
To
license.
file,
Yeah.
to basically, right.
No, I-
That's-
Well,
To
Well,
have
to
one-
use his license.
To have a
Yes.
licensed
Yes.
operator
Yeah.
on file,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I get
because
it.
we do all our own.
Yeah.
We submit everything.
Oh, yeah, and,
CCRs do, by the way.
yes, yeah, you got some I don't know if you got your water use efficiency report done, I don't know if, your CCR. I don't
We
know
got
where
one
you're
more
at.
thing we gotta add to something, and we gotta mail it. Other than that, we're good. We're waiting for the state to do the cover sheet. Do they change that every year or
For
whatever?
the water use efficiency?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They change that cover sheet every year with the date usually.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you have to have the official state one or whatever. That's what we're waiting on, and then Ron will
I
file
already
that.
turned mine in, I just crossed it out.
Oh,
and put-
yeah, no, he's waiting for them to send
Oh.
the official one. That's the last report he said he has to do for the year. Everything else is.
Yeah, and then there's another report, but I'm assuming the gentleman, well, that's water, so he's not gonna say, hey, we need to do A, B, C, and D.
Ron said that was the only one, was that one. Everything else has been
Do you
done.
have to do an inventory on each of that?
He's already done with them.
Oh, okay, okay,
I think he's done with, yeah, as soon as it opens to do it, he does it.
okay.
Because he has everything ready for
And
it.
then do you know if he has this is, we can talk about this later, but schedule, I don't know what your guys' schedule is for.
No, that's something I gotta get with Ron on, and I told him, I said, you cannot leave next time until I get the schedule.
Okay.
Just call me
And you can
in
look that up
Salt
later.
Lake and be like, hey, tomorrow this is due.
But we can look that up too,
Yeah.
We can look all that.
We can figure it out, yeah.
We'll have
It's part of the SOP stuff there,
Yes.
100%,
Yeah.
make sure we know deadlines, timelines.
But if that's something that you guys are like, yes, then.
Yeah.
And then I can bring back some figures and you guys can kind
Okay.
of decide.
Sounds
Or not.
Good enough.
Yes, thank you. I just wanna make sure I was.
Just
making
make sure you're good to move on. Meter tampering, okay. This is something that I had to start at because we had an incident this weekend. I wouldn't call it an incident, I guess. No, it's an incident. I physically shut off someone's water. They came in to have their water turned on and said, oh no, it's already on. I physically did it myself. But it was turned back on.
Oh.
So who,
By
Do
the-
we
by
apply a
the-
lock on it when you turn it off?
so therein lies another issue. Most, I would say most, I would go 50-50 right now.
Or whether they're lockable?
Lockable or not. And I didn't have a cage on me to do it.
Okay.
We do have some cages that I could have put on, but this person was gonna come in that day anyways to have their water turned on. I just wanted to make sure that they knew that it was off, so they would not forget
Right.
to come and have their water turned on, right? And so that meter is ours,
Right,
Right.
100%.
and they're not cheap.
Right.
And everything from the meter into the meter the water comes out of forward is the resident's problem. But if they tamper with our end and break something, if they break the shutoff valve, there's only one other way to shut the water. Well, there's two ways. One, we dig up the street and find the cork stuff. That's off the main line. If you know exactly where everything hooks to the main line. So if it's the main line's on that side of the street, we'd have to dig across the street to find the main line. Or two, we shut the whole street off.
I feel like a proper SOP that states that it either gets a cage or a lock would address the issue.
Okay.
And then.
But if they
then-
tamper with said meter,
With that, then.
we don't have anything right
That's
now.
breaking city property. Well, that's breaking city property and stealing utilities.
Then it's-
There's
then
two
it's
crimes right
theft.
there. Yeah,
Then
and there's
it's
theft of
theft.
services. That, we don't need to have anything separate for
But
that.
we need to have it written out that that is the procedure that we're gonna go through.
We need an SOP.
We also
Right.
need it in the ordinance. We need to be stated in the ordinance that you are not allowed to do this.
I wanna say
Alter
it
it. Didn't
is.
we do that
I'm
already?
almost positive.
That's what I
If
that
we
thought.
did, I cannot find that.
Okay,
Oh.
I'll look over.
I know there's a lot of this
Saw
stuff that
the
we
word
discussed.
too,
Yeah.
but-
Is there two, is there another?
Yeah, there's probably another one of those.
Okay.
There's two or three of
There's a
those.
Second book in there.
Okay,
Yeah.
cause there's nothing with water or sewer
No.
in here.
Well, this one's
Yeah, I
stopped.
thought we addressed that already.
Zoning.
Zoning's a hot mess in there.
That's probably-
But no, we,
It should,
no, this is, no, this is our current ones. And we have discussed this before, and I didn't know we voted on all this kind of stuff, but it's not
Can't
there.
find
So
it.
we need to make sure that we get everything,
Okay.
It needs to be clearly outlined. If they're
Yes.
unlocking it,
yes.
they're tampering
Tampering
with the
with it,
meter,
absolutely.
then it's theft of services.
Correct.
And then charges
and
will be
vandalism.
filed. And vandalism. I mean, charges will be filed.
But I just wanna make sure everyone, that we're on the page so we can get this.
Yeah.
I mean, we gotta get, a lot of our ordinances are old, they don't really apply as much as they used to. That's a bad word. They don't. I don't want to.
They need to be updated.
They need to be updated.
Yes.
They don't really attend to
Yeah,
what we're
well,
doing
and
now.
we've talked about on multiple occasions going through the ordinances and starting to reword them, clear them up, clean them up.
Right.
But
Make them
it's
more
a-
prevalent, more up to date.
Yeah.
That's.
It's a
Oh,
process.
No, 100% it's a process.
Yes.
But the major ones, the ones that we're charging for, need to
Yeah.
be first and foremost. Make sure we got everything tidy up on those so that everyone's clear and precise on how that's going to be billed, collected, serviced. All that stuff needs to be, and then we can worry about the outlayers.
Especially the ones that are continuously being violated that we're trying to enforce.
Star.
Can I go back to fences? Just really quick, just really
Yes.
quick.
Good fences make good neighbors.
So, and it has to do with water meters and fences.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, not allowing.
We have to have access to that. Today I had to walk through someone's private property to shut their water on, or turn the water on.
You have a key for the gate or something, or.
I had to wait for them to physically be there so I could do said job.
Yeah.
And by law, I can't cross a fence.
Without their permission, yeah.
Yeah.
But at that point, they're stealing water that's supposed to be shut off. But
Yeah.
we had a whole ordeal on that side of town.
Oh dear.
I mean, I could physically reach over the fence and do it, but that's still.
No. Yeah.
But
the,
when the gate was open, I just happened to be there. So guess what? It was not locked anymore.
Well,
But that's still your infrastructure, so
Yes, we should be able to have access to it 100%.
yes, because if there's an emergency or if
Right.
there's something, you've gotta get to that.
So originally, when the meters were put in, not the originals, but when they were doing sidewalks and things like that, they put the round city shut off, if you will. They had the shut off at the meter, but they also had the city shut off put in
The curbs.
the curb stops. Yeah, they put them so the city could get to them no matter where the fence was. The fence could
Do you
do all the
remember,
other.
do you remember if somebody has them inside the property?
There's a few
in a
people.
house?
There's still a few people that have some meters on the inside of their house. Yes.
Ours just got pulled out of the house.
Yeah, yours. There's one up over here, and then like the school has a couple of meters inside the building, but they are big meters. In order to put
It's in the
those in,
basement.
It would cost too much for us
Well,
to change that.
well, yes, that, and then it would require a well, a manual for the meter to sit in a box,
Oh, okay.
and then be so deep that it would require two people to check it,
Oh,
because you can't have somebody in a hole that is so deep without a spotter.
oh, yeah, there's.
And then you got to be able to have it's considered a confined space at that point.
No, I get it.
And then you have to have someone that's trained in confined space, which we don't have. Our fire department, there's no fire department in Whitman County that is trained in confined space, just so everybody knows.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Just so everybody knows
But
that.
so now
Well,
when
but the
you're in the
residences, we
yard,
should move forward with changing those situations at least, right?
Well, that, and where the fence goes, we have to have access to it. So either you build a fence around the box, or you leave it so we can get to the box.
which
So again,
now
what about
goes.
the boxes that are in somebody's house?
Well, those ones eventually should be moved.
That's
Right.
that's
That
what I
one's
was
down.
that's
A lot of
what I-
those
that's
have
what I
shut
was-
offs on the outside of the house.
Yeah.
Which now goes to, which is gonna be resolved in any future fences, because we
Yes.
can
We
include
will
that
be
in our
involved in that,
checklist
exactly.
of evaluating.
Do you guys have like a meter obstruction ordinance or anything?
Sure.
Okay.
I have no idea.
But
I'm gonna say no because I know a lot of people park on top of theirs.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know Ron and I last summer replaced one box 8 times because he kept driving on it.
what?
Hmm.
Was it in the, is it in the driveway?
It's in his yard,
Oh,
but he wanted to park there.
oh.
Can
My
you get a
goodness.
traffic rated ledge at that point?
We put a concrete one in,
Oh, okay.
and then he parked on top of it, and the car fell through.
That does happen.
Oh my.
Well, it was an 18-wheeler, so I guess it.
Oh.
They're made to drive over, not park on. There's
Well,
a
the
difference.
location of mine, if I want to build a fence, I like now do the
Do a
whole
little
like
loop
Like
around
they did
it.
over here,
around.
yes. And that's
Yes.
exactly what.
Yep, that is what you have to do.
They called us, and I said, "Yeah, we need the access." They said, "Okay."
Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. Yeah.
But
And you put gravel in,
Same-
but
But
it was
it'll,
hours.
but it'll be resolved, we can now mitigate people building fences to block it off with
With
the
that,
new
yes,
idea of
absolutely.
people coming to us with permission, you know,
The permit.
yeah.
Yep.
But
That's
I
part of
think,
that process.
I have no idea what I was going at. Thank you for derailing that thought process.
You're welcome.
Wow.
It's all good.
Ugh. All right,
Okay.
it's gone. Totally gone.
Okay.
Because most of, I don't think there's any water meter in the sidewalks. They're just all just on the inside of the sidewalks. Or like Debbie's in the middle of her yard.
Yeah.
Just kind of randomness.
Yep, right
But
there in
I
the
think
Oh.
the way the easements work up there, because the street, like, don't quote me, but I think number streets are 80 feet and side streets are 60 feet, if I remember right. And alleys are
20.
20 or 25. Yeah. If I remember right, that's how that works. From whatever point that is, I have no idea. But so like this street over here is super wide.
There's a map right there.
So my question was gonna be,
That's a guess map. That wasn't a survey. That's a guess map. That wasn't a survey map.
It's just right there, there's a map that says how big your lots are, 80 and 100.
We have 50s, but
how
Yeah, there is
many,
50s, it gives a listing of that.
how many homes would you say have the meters on